Have you ever found yourself sitting in a quiet room, the silence feeling so heavy it's almost a physical presence, and wondered, is this it? Is this what the rest of my life is going to feel like? That deep, echoing quiet after a lifetime of noise, of a partner's laughter, the daily rhythm of shared meals, the phone calls from children that now come less frequently, or the camaraderie of colleagues that ended with retirement. It's not just quiet. It's a hollow kind of quiet that seems to highlight the absence. And in that space, it's so easy to believe that happiness was something you had then, with them, and that it can't possibly be something you have now on your own. If that feeling is familiar to you, I want you to know, first and foremost, that you are not alone in feeling alone. What you're experiencing is a profound shift, not a permanent sentence. That ache, that sense of being untethered, is a testament to the love and the life you had, not a sign that your life is over. It's a chapter ending, and right now, it feels like someone ripped out the last page and you have no idea how the next one begins. It's terrifying, it's lonely, and it's okay to admit that. But I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that a new chapter can be written, and you get to be the author. Happiness after loss doesn't look like a replacement for what was. It's a different landscape altogether, one you have the power to design and build for yourself. It's not about forgetting or pretending you aren't changed. It's about discovering who you are now in this new reality and finding a way to build a life that feels genuinely good, meaningful, and yours on your own terms. This isn't about moving on. It's about moving forward, carrying your love and memories with you as a foundation, not an anchor. This journey we're going to take together isn't about quick fixes or pretending to be fine. It's a gentle, compassionate exploration of how to rebuild a world of joy from the ground up. We're going to walk through this step by step, starting with the most important thing you can do, which is to make peace with the silence and rediscover the person you are when no one is watching. From there, we'll look at how to gently invite new experiences back into your life, not to fill a void, but to expand your world. We'll talk about the incredible power of rediscovering old passions you set aside and how your body's well-being is directly tied to your emotional strength. We'll explore the beautiful, intentional act of building a new kind of community, a circle of support that fits your life as it is now. And finally, we'll uncover a profound sense of purpose that comes from looking forward and defining what you want your legacy to be. It all starts with that quiet room. Because the first step towards not feeling lonely when you're alone is to stop fighting the solitude and start to understand it. We often run from the quiet. We turn on the television for background noise. We scroll endlessly on our phones. We make lists of chores. Anything to avoid just sitting with ourselves. We've started to believe that solitude is the same as loneliness, but they are not the same thing at all. Loneliness is a feeling of lack, a sadness about connection missing. Solitude is simply the state of being by yourself, and it is completely neutral. It's a blank canvas. It can be lonely, yes, but it can also be peaceful, productive, creative, or restorative. It's all in how you choose to approach it. Think of it like this. For years, maybe decades, your identity was woven together with others. You were a husband, a wife, a parent, a dedicated employee, a caregiver. Those roles came with scripts, with expectations, with a constant stream of demands and interactions. And while that could be exhausting, it also told you who you were and what you needed to do next. Now, with that script gone, it's not that you are nobody. It's that you have the rarest of opportunities to find out who you are for yourself. The silence isn't your enemy. It's the space where that discovery can happen. It's where you can hear your own thoughts again, perhaps for the first time in a very long time. It's where you can decide what music you like to listen to, what you want to eat for dinner without considering anyone else's taste, what you truly think about a book or a movie without anyone else's opinion filtering in. This is a foundation. Before you can build a new happiness with others, you must first rebuild a relationship with yourself. And that begins by turning the silence from something you dread into something you can eventually even cherish. It's about taking that empty space and realizing it's not empty at all. It's full of potential, waiting for you to decide what to put in it. And getting comfortable in that space is a first step to taking your power back. Because once you stop seeing yourself as alone and start seeing yourself as your own company, everything else becomes possible. And what becomes possible in that space of self-acceptance is the freedom to gently and without pressure begin to explore again. It starts with something as simple as opening a window, not just in your home, but in your mind. When the weight of grief and adjustment is heavy, the world can feel very small, confined to these four walls and a loop of your own thoughts. The idea of going out, of doing something, can feel overwhelming, like trying to lift a weight that's just too much. So we don't. We stay in. And the world gets a little smaller, a little dimmer. But what if you didn't have to plan a grand outing? What if exploration could be a 5-minute act of curiosity? This is about reintroducing novelty, little by little, into your daily routine. Your brain, your spirit, they thrive on newness. It doesn't have to be skydiving. It could be taking a different route on your morning walk, noticing a garden on a street you don't usually go down. It can be driving to a nearby town you've always meant to visit and just having a cup of coffee in their local diner. It can be visiting a museum on a quiet Tuesday afternoon and lingering at a single painting that catches your eye for as long as you want, with no one to rush you, engaging your senses fully. When you're in that coffee shop, don't just drink the coffee, really taste it. Notice the sound of the milk steamer, the conversation at the next table, the way the light comes through the window. This practice of mindful exploration pulls you out of the internal narrative of loss and plants you firmly in the present moment. It sends a powerful message to yourself. I am still here, and the world is still full of interesting things. Each tiny foray out is a vote for life, a declaration that you are still an active participant. It rebuilds a muscle of curiosity, which is a fundamental component of joy. And as you begin to explore the outside world again, you might just stumble upon a path that leads you right back to a part of yourself you thought was lost. This is where the past and the present can have the most beautiful reunion. Before life got so complicated with responsibilities, before you became someone's partner or parent, what did you love to do? What made time fly for you? I'm talking about that thing you did just for you, that made you feel completely and utterly like yourself. For some, it was puttering in a workshop, the smell of sawdust and the satisfaction of creating something with your hands. For others, it was the feel of pastels or watercolors on paper, getting lost in the blend of colors without a care for whether it was good. Maybe it was strumming a guitar, dancing to old records, spending a Saturday morning browsing a library, or getting completely dirt-stained in a garden. We so often let these passions fall away, dismissing them as frivolous or childish as we take on the serious business of adulthood. But they are not frivolous. They are the very essence of what makes us feel alive. They are activities we do for the pure pleasure of doing them, with no goal other than the enjoyment of the process. Reconnecting with an old hobby isn't just about passing the time. It's a profound act of self-respect. It's you telling that younger version of yourself, what you loved matters. It still matters. It's a direct line to a sense of identity that exists outside of any role you play for others. Dust off that old instrument. Even if your fingers are stiff, buy a small set of watercolors and a pad of paper. Get a pot and some soil and grow a single tomato plant on your balcony. You don't have to be good at it. The point isn't to produce a masterpiece. The point is to lose yourself in the flow of it, to feel that spark of pure, unadulterated engagement that is a powerful antidote to sadness. It's amazing how the simple, focused act of creating something, anything, can change the rhythm of a week from one of passive endurance to one of active participation in your own life. And that rhythm of engagement leads us perfectly to something we often neglect in times of grief, but is absolutely sacred to rebuilding our strength. That's right, we're talking about your physical well-being. And I know the moment someone says, you need to take care of yourself, it can sound like just another item on a daunting to-do list, or worse, like a hollow platitude. But please stay with me. This isn't about achieving a certain weight or running a marathon. This is about something much more fundamental. Recognizing that your body is a vessel that carries you through this journey of healing, and its condition directly influences your capacity to feel joy, to have energy, and to withstand emotional storms. When you're grieving or feeling isolated, it's incredibly common for the basics to fall by the wayside. Meals become whatever is easiest. Sleep is elusive or filled with restlessness, and the idea of intentional movement feels impossible. It's a vicious cycle. Feeling sad leads to neglecting your body, and neglecting your body makes you feel even more drained and low. Breaking this cycle is one of the most compassionate acts you can do for yourself. It's not about punishment. It's about gentle, loving maintenance. Think of it like caring for a cherished, historic home. You wouldn't let the roof leak or the foundation crack without addressing it. You'd make repairs with care and respect for its history and its value. Your body is at home. It has carried you through a lifetime of experiences. It deserves kindness. This can start with one tiny thing. It could be committing to drinking a large glass of water first thing in the morning to rehydrate after a night's sleep. It could be adding one single vegetable to your lunch. It's not about a complete diet overhaul. It's about one small, sustainable act of nourishment. And then there's movement. The word exercise can feel intimidating. So let's call it something else. Let's call it stirring your energy. When you feel stagnant emotionally, your body becomes stagnant physically. Just getting your blood flowing a little bit can work miracles on a heavy heart. This isn't about going to the gym. It's about putting on your favorite music and swaying to it for 2 whole songs in your living room. It's about parking a little further away from the store entrance. It's about a 10-minute walk around the block, not for fitness, but for air, for light, for the simple rhythm of putting one foot in front of the other. This kind of gentle movement tells your nervous system that it's safe to come out of its defensive crouch. It releases endorphins, those natural mood lifters, and it helps regulate the sleep that is so crucial for emotional resilience. Caring for your body in these small ways is a silent language of self-worth. It's you telling yourself, I am worth the effort. And when you feel that sense of worth from within, it changes how you interact with the world. It builds a foundation of strength from which you can reach out. And when you're feeling stronger and more grounded in yourself, you naturally have more capacity for one of the most powerful healing forces of all, connection. Now, I want to be very clear about this. This isn't about forcing yourself to be social or pretending to be cheerful. After a loss, old social circles can sometimes feel awkward or even painful. Well-meaning friends might not know what to say, or you might feel like you don't fit into your old couple friends dynamic anymore. The goal here isn't to rebuild your old social life. It's to intentionally build a new circle of strength, a small, supportive network that fits your life as it is now. This is about quality, not quantity. It's about finding your people, the ones who get it. This might look like seeking out a grief support group, where you can be with people who understand the language of loss without you having to explain a thing. It might mean finally saying yes to that neighbor who has always offered to have coffee. It could be volunteering for a cause you care about, an animal shelter, a community garden, a local library. When you volunteer, the focus is off you on a shared task, which is often a huge relief. Conversations happen naturally, side by side, while you're folding brochures or watering plants, which feels much less pressure than face-to-face interviewing. The beautiful thing about building a circle this way is that it's based on shared interests or shared experiences, not just old history. These new connections see you for who you are now, and they accept you there. They become the people you can call on a hard day, the ones who will meet you for a walk without needing a big explanation. This kind of purposeful community isn't about replacing what you lost. It's about building a new ecosystem of support that acknowledges your journey and helps you grow forward. So these pieces, finding peace in solitude, exploring again, rediscovering old passions, caring for your body, and building new connections, they all start to fit together, creating a new sense of stability. But a new life isn't finished until you put the last piece in place, and that's finding a reason to look forward to tomorrow. Now, bringing this all together might feel like a lot. You might be looking at these ideas, making peace with quiet, going out, finding a hobby, eating better, moving your body, meeting new people, and thinking, how can I possibly focus on all of this at once? I can barely get through the day. And my answer is, you absolutely shouldn't. Try to tackle everything is a surefire recipe for feeling overwhelmed and giving up. This isn't a race. It's a redirection. The most important thing is to start small. So small that it feels almost effortless. The goal isn't perfection. It's consistency. It's the gentle accumulation of tiny, kind acts toward yourself that, over time, change the entire landscape of your life. Think it like this. If you wanted to light up a dark room, you wouldn't try to install a massive chandelier all by yourself in one go. You'd start by lighting a single candle. That one small flame pushes back the darkness immediately. Then maybe you light another, and another. Soon, the room is glowing. You are that room. Your first candle might be as simple as, this week, I will sit with my coffee for 5 minutes in the morning without turning on the TV. I will just sit and be. That's it. That's your entire goal. Once that feels comfortable, not like a chore, you light another candle. This week, on Tuesday, I will take that 5 minutes of quiet, and then I will go for a 5-minute walk around my yard. You pair the new habit with one you're already starting to establish. The key is to be your own best friend, not your drill sergeant. If you have a day where you just can't, that's okay. The path isn't gone. You just took a small rest on the side of it. The next day, you simply begin again. There is no failure here, only practice. This is how you build a new routine that doesn't feel like a cage, but like a gentle, supportive rhythm that holds you. And of course, there will be obstacles. Your mind will come up with very convincing reasons not to do these things. What if I try a new hobby and I'm terrible at it? Well, wonderful. The goal is to enjoy the process, not to be a master. Embrace being a beginner again. It's humbling and exhilarating. What if my knees are too bad for walks? Then find a way to move that works for you. Seated exercises are incredibly effective. Water aeratics at a local pool are gentle on the joints. The movement is about circulation and mood, not mileage. What if I try to reach out to someone and they reject me? This is a deep fear, I know. But remember, everyone is hungry for genuine connection. The person you call might be just as lonely and delighted that you thought of them. And if one person isn't receptive, it's not a reflection of your worth. It just means they aren't your person. Your circle of strength might be very small, and that is more than enough. The biggest obstacle is often the stories we tell ourselves. The story that says, "It's too late for me," or "I'm too set in my ways," or "My chance for happiness has passed." Those are stories, not truths. The truth is, you are here right now with a wealth of experience and understanding that you didn't have when you were younger. You have the wisdom to appreciate small moments in a way you couldn't before. You have the right to define what happiness means for you now, on your own terms. You have the map now. You know what to do, and more importantly, how to start small and be kind to yourself in the process. The final ingredient, the one that makes it all stick, isn't something you do, but something you believe. And that thing you have to believe is that you are worthy of this effort. Not because you've earned it, not because you've checked off all the boxes, but simply because you exist. This entire journey hinges on a shift in identity, from seeing yourself as someone who has lost everything to someone who is rediscovering themselves. It's about moving from "I am lonely" to "I am learning to enjoy my own company." From "I am sad" to "I am healing." From "I am old" to "I have experience and wisdom to offer." This shift doesn't happen overnight, but with every tiny choice you make for your own well-being, you reinforce this new, empowering story. I want to tell you about a woman I know. Let's call her Eleanor. Eleanor lost her husband of 50 years. For the first year, she simply went through the motions, shrouded in a grief that felt endless. The silence of her house was unbearable. One day, her daughter left a small, potted orchid on her kitchen table. It looked so delicate, and Eleanor felt a flicker of responsibility. She had to learn how to care for it. How much light, how much water. It became her tiny, 5-minute daily ritual. That one plant led to another. Then she found herself at a local nursery, just to look. She struck up a conversation with an employee about soil. That conversation led to her visiting a weekly gardening club that met at the library. She didn't say much at first. She just listened. But she was around people. She was learning. Slowly, her home became filled with green, growing things that depended on her. She wasn't just Eleanor the widow anymore. She was Eleanor, the woman with the incredible orchids. She found her way back to a love of gardening she'd had as a girl. She didn't replace her husband. She built a new life around the love that was still there, and she found a way to let new things grow in the space beside it. Her story isn't about a dramatic change. It's about a series of small, gentle choices that added up to a life she loves living again. That is what I want for you. It's not about waking up one day magically fixed. It's about waking up and feeling a glimmer of curiosity about the day. It's about having the energy to call a friend for no reason. It's about rediscovering the quiet satisfaction of a hands-on project, or the simple pleasure of a meal you took the time to prepare just for yourself because you deserve it. It's about feeling a sense of ownership over your time and your peace. It's about finding moments of genuine laughter and feeling the sun on your face and knowing deep in your bones that there are still good days to be had. This is your life, and it is precious. You have so much yet to experience, to give, and to enjoy. I would be so honored if you would share a little bit of your journey with me. In the comments below, could you tell me which one of these ideas resonated with you the most? Is it the thought of rediscovering an old hobby, or the idea of building a new circle of support? I read every single comment, and I love hearing from this wonderful community. If this conversation felt like a helpful step for you, if it gave you a little bit of hope, please do let me know by giving this video a like. It truly helps me reach other wonderful people like you who might need to hear this message today. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel and tapping that little bell icon. I create every single video with you in mind to help you live your life with more vitality, joy, and independence. Remember, my friend, your best years aren't behind you. They're right here, waiting for you to claim them. You have weathered storms that would have broken others, and you are still standing. That is strength. That is resilience. Now, it's time to turn that strength toward building your joy. Here's to your health, your happiness, and the incredible unfolding journey ahead. I'll see you in the next video.